if it's something you really want to do, just go for it. I mean, I've always loved the preschool age. And so some providers only love the babies or toddler age. So them switching over is probably not a good idea.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Preschool All Stars podcast. I'm Bethany Johnson, and I'm joined today by Carole Jenson. How are you doing today, Carole?
Doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. We are very happy to have you on today. We're excited to hear your story. I like to always get a little backstory first before we jump into the preschool of what was going on before you decided to start your preschool.
Sure. Well, I used to do Joy's favorite, daycare.
Okay. Yep.
Right. I was a provider for about 21 years.
In your own home?
And did very well.
Mm-hmm.
Was very successful. Word of mouth. Didn't have a problem filling the spots. I started in Northern California, and then 8 years ago we moved to Southern California, and I took a year off and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and wanted to be my own boss again, so I opened up another daycare.
Okay. How many kids did you have in your daycare at a time? What were you licensed for?
I was licensed, I started off as small, so I had 8 kids, and when I got licensed where I am now, I grew quickly, and I was very proud of myself because we didn't know anybody here. We didn't have any friends or any family, and I just did lots of advertising and got popular really fast. So I went from 8 to got my large license to 14.
Okay.
But I wanted to do something different because my youngest kids were starting school, and preschool is my favorite age. So I started advertising for a morning preschool as well as extended care. So a morning 8:30, 12:30, and just kept advertising. But I would only get a couple kids every year, and then full days of the other kids. And I thought, how can I get just preschoolers, you know? And I just kept trying, and then I thought I'd open a center. So I researched that, and I thought, no, I don't want to do that either. Mm-hmm. So I just, I think it was in January of last year, I did some research on how to open a preschool. I've taken classes many years ago, and I thought, what else do I need to do? And Joy popped up, and I thought, who is this crazy lady? Yeah. I was like, oh, she's not real. And so I watched her videos, and I thought, I think I'm thinking the wrong path. I kept thinking I had 2 things good going. I could fill my daycare, no problem. And they stayed with me because I provided a good, balanced morning preschool program. So I was trying to figure out what I can do. And then I found Joy, and I was researching what I needed to do because I had 2 things good going. I could fill my spots, and the kids that were enrolled were staying with me to kindergarten. The problem is I could only get 1 or 2 a year. So what else can I do? So after I got Joy's book, and, I'm open 10 hours a day, and I'm just burned out.
5 days a week?
Yep, 5 days a week. I had 4 employees working part-time. So even though in the afternoons I wasn't always working, I was home. My home was always open the whole time.
Right.
And I said that something needs to change. So it was February last year. I told my husband, I said, okay, when I had 9 kids at this time that were going to leave for kindergarten. So I told him, okay, now this time in August, I'm going to switch to just preschool. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I'm only going to do my morning preschool, nothing else.
Okay.
And he said, that'd be great.
This past August? Was that this past August? Okay.
And so that was kind of the back of my head. And by watching the videos and joining the All Stars and what I needed to do, because I always was my name was always in my daycare name, so I didn't need to file a DBA. But I thought, okay, well, during this time, I'm going to change my name, just to be strictly preschool. And, I already had my tax ID and all that stuff for my business. So it was pretty smooth. And then COVID hit, And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And licensing, the state said you can only take essential workers. So I said, okay. I had 5 kids out of 12. I had 5 that could stay.
Oh, man.
And the good news is that 3 of them were already at those hours that I was doing preschool.
Okay.
So I just told the other parents, look, I got to put my family first. In order for this to work, we all have to be the same days, which was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's the only way it's going to work. And one was difficult. She wanted me to change my hours and change my times. And she didn't care if I was a babysitter and watched her one kid all day. But I kept remembering what Joy said. She said to tell them, I'm sorry, my program's no longer going to work for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kept saying that. And I had to tell her probably 3 times, but she said, okay. So I had the solid 5 for March to June.
Okay.
And then
in the morning?
Just in the morning.
Okay. Yep.
Just the morning. And then I had, in May, I actually had this fabulous graduation party for the kids, which meant a lot to me because these kids were with me 3, 4, 5 years, and then they couldn't come anymore.
Right.
Most of them were teachers' kids. And so I had this great event because I have a lot of property out front, and went very well. And then those kids hadn't seen each other for 3 months, and they were just so excited. So when summer hit, they came back for summer.
Okay.
So then I was like, yay, got the group back. So I think I was about a solid 10 kids at the time.
Had they lifted the restrictions at that point?
Not really.
Okay.
This was, I think it was where the parents were more comfortable. Hey, this is Miss Carole. She's been in our lives for 4 or 5 years. She's, runs a good program, and they felt safe to send them.
Yeah.
And we did. We worked it out. It was the same group of kids, and it was just the 3 days a week. And then in August, I took on 2 new ones, and my kindergartners had to go online for school. They couldn't attend in person. And it worked out where 3 of them had morning Zoom with their teachers. So they were able to come with me for 3 hours. Okay. And that meant a lot to them because a lot of them were only children or had siblings that were 10 years older than they are. So that meant a lot to them. And things were going really good. And then I think, between then and there, I'm going on checking out Joy's videos and what else I need to do to keep me going, or if I ever wanted to do online, that was there. Information was on there for me to do that. And just reaching out to the group if I needed something, or if something cool happened, or I was so excited I wanted to share it. There's not a lot of support groups for daycare. It just seems it's more competition. And I noticed a lot of the free groups, there's a lot of negativity, and every comment, they have to be better than the other person. And I got out of all those daycare groups, and I stayed with just the Preschool All Stars. And things are going pretty good. Things are going really well.
That's so great. Good to hear. So where things are right now, you're not online at all. Are you still watching? No. Are you still providing care for some of the virtual kids?
So now what happened, back up a little bit, is in December, I told myself, okay, well, I stayed with my solid 9 kids. And I said, okay, well, in the new year, I missed the large group of kids. And also I financially needed to. I have kids that are in college, and I really needed to help them. So I said, okay, in January, I'm going to start advertising more kids. I felt like it was safe enough to start doing that. And then my family got COVID. Oh. So the state shut us down for 14 days. It was a very mild case. very, very mild. It just seems silly that I had to close, but that's okay. And I just thought, okay, what can I do now? And I had gotten I paid someone to do my website, and it just launched. And I literally advertised, I think, one day. And while I'm waiting for public health to call me back about COVID, I was hit with back-to-back phone calls.
Oh, wow.
About my preschool. Wow. And I kept answering the phone, and I'm like, no, I'll do a virtual tour. I'm not doing in person. And I booked 4 people in one day, 4 hours. It was back to back. 4 kids immediately signed up. That one said, that's okay. I don't even need you to send me a virtual video. I saw all your information on your website, and that was good enough for me.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And, that was help from Joy and all her information, the correct information to put on the website to advertise for preschool.
Wow.
So here I am home and got full. And then I got my 5th one to start. And the reason why I was started to advertise is because the kinders, their teachers were changing all the Zoom times.
Right.
And they were so sad. They're like, we can't come. I said, okay, let's see what I can do. So then I filled their spots. And then I said, what if I put together an afternoon social time just for kinders?
Oh,
and they said, we're in. So after I booked those, the next day I called my previous parents, and I said, would you be interested in coming 2 days a week for the kids in the afternoon? And 7 of them signed up.
Wow.
So I was like, oh my gosh,
amazing.
Where have you been my whole life? And today was actually the first day that kinders could go back to school in person. Not all of them chose to do that. I believe 2 did. But they're still going to come here in the afternoon because it's fun and they get that social time. And
so is that like from 12 to, or is it like after school hours, after like 3?
It's 2 to 4:30.
Okay. So you have, what are the hours of your classes? Is it still Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days a week? Or
I do 4 days now, Monday through Thursday. I do 4 hours. I do 8:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
And then 2 days a week I do 2 to 5 or 2 to 4:30 for the kinders.
Okay. And how many kids do you have in both classes, I guess?
So I have my limit. I have 12 for the morning preschool, and then I have 7 in the afternoon.
Okay. And is it just you, or do you have a helper or a teacher with you for the 12?
I have, for the 12, I do have to have somebody, and I have, my 2 adult children that are in college, since they have to be home. They've always been approved to work here with me. So, they just a couple hours, the days I have 12.
Nice. That's great. I mean,
it works out good.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cause I had a couple employees I really, loved having here, but with COVID, I wanted to try to keep everybody safe. So it made more sense to have just my family work where I had more control of the situations. And stuff.
Absolutely. So, so just thinking this took place in like less than a year that you were able to transition from being full daycare to pretty much full preschool.
Right. Yeah. So I'm real excited. Right now I'm trying to figure out my summer camp, and then in May I'll advertise for fall. I do have, I think, 9 leaving again for kindergarten this year. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm pretty impressed how fast I was able to fill the spots, and it's just been great.
Loyal clients.
Yes. And that was the other thing, that I had a little pity party thinking, here's these wonderful parents that think I'm just, everything they've always wanted for their kids. And they kept promised to write me a review, and everything. I'm like, just, oh yeah, no problem. I'll do it. And they never did. And I'd write my monthly newsletter and nothing. And then out of nowhere, I was nominated for, it was a reader's choice for our Antelope Valley area. And so you can vote. I was nominated in 2 different categories, and you can vote once a day on these categories, and then we'll find out March 1st if I win or not. But I'm just excited I was nominated,
It's nice to know that, they're actually thinking of you,
right.
Telling you, yeah, we'll write the reviews, and they want to, but they're busy and they don't understand how important it is to you. You're like, please write these reviews.
I know. Like my husband said, what do you get? I'm like, I get a plaque and bragging rights. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what do you think was the biggest roadblock that you had to overcome in all of this and the switch over for you?
Well, I think I kept thinking, who's going to sign up for just those hours? Because I've been trying it for, 7 years. And every year I get 1, 2, 3 of these preschoolers from stay-home moms. And then most of my clients are teachers. And I thought, where are they? How are they only going to come during those hours? And so you have to look at it differently. And my daycare friends, I would look at them like, oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. I'm like, wait, they're not your competition. You're in a different field right now. And that was hard to think about. And I know there's not a lot of preschool support here. I don't know anybody else that does what I'm doing. It's churches and preschool centers, but no one's offering just these hours.
Right.
And so maybe that's good. I don't know.
Absolutely. There's always the need. You just got to find them. That's what Joy says.
Right.
If you're not,
I think the biggest
in the right spot.
I think the biggest thing is, when COVID hit, I thought, should I wait? What should I do? And I'm like, no, I'm just going to do it. If this is the best time to just do it, because things are changing and you just got to run with it.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to be able to adapt. And now is a great time to, whatever you were waiting, if you were waiting on doing it, do it now, because you're right.
Right.
And this is the time to kind of start fresh and, adapt whatever you need to do. Absolutely. So what are your next big plans for your preschool?
Well, we are working on trying to expand our house. Like I said, we have a lot of property, and, I wanted to do a center, but I thought, no, I really don't want to do that. I love being the teacher. I love the home environment. I would like to get it out of my house, but in order to stay licensed in California, it has to be attached. The preschool room has to be attached. Okay. And so that's what.
Now, what room of your house is your room in? Your preschool?
It's the living room, the front. I have a living room, front room. So that's what we're doing right now. We have the plans. We're just trying to get some bidders and decide how big we want to go.
You're going to build a whole addition onto it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be great.
It'll be great with a separate entrance and their own bathroom. And so, yeah, it'll be great.
That's exciting. Is it still going to have the same capacity, or is it going to be a bigger room so you're allowed more kids, or is it all under the same license for large?
It's going to be the same licensed. I like the solid 12. I'm licensed for 14, but the 12 is the preschool age. The 14, they have to be two kinders.
Okay, yeah.
Right, or age-wise. But yeah, no, I'm good with the solid 12. It works well for me.
Awesome. And what would you say to any of those women who are maybe where you were, who have a daycare and who think, I could never, there's not enough market for this, or I don't know how I could switch over to this, or where you were, a year or two ago? What would you say to those women who are looking to get started on this journey?
I'd say if it's something you really want to do, just go for it. I mean, I've always loved the preschool age. And so some providers only love the babies or toddler age. So them switching over is probably not a good idea. Mm-hmm. But if you are like me and loved the preschool age, at first I thought it was age 3, but then I'm like, no, I love age 4.
I love the 4s too. I
love the 4s. And you just do it and make it happen. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you never know unless you try.
Yeah. And what do you think the biggest thing that the Preschool All Stars and Joy gave you along this journey, like the biggest piece of advice or the biggest help that they were able to give you?
I think just the support. Everything's so positive. You know, there's no negativity or you should do it this way because I think it's better. Mm-hmm. It's just support and encouragement. You know, there's no negative. There's just always positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for telling your story. I wish you the best of luck in your next journey with adding on that extra room. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
Yes, filling your preschool. That's so exciting.
It is exciting. So I hope, you know, other people will just go for it if that's what they want to do. There's enough kids to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wish you all the best of luck with that award.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I can't wait to find out.
You post in the All Stars if you get it, so we can all.
I will.
On the back.
Either that or the sad face. No.
You know what? We'll be there to support.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just happy I was nominated.
Yeah, that's a great honor. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Carole. You have an amazing night, and thanks for talking to us.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. All right. Good night. Bye.
If you'd like to have a success story just like that one, I invite you to join our Preschool All Stars. It's my exclusive membership community where you'll get mentorship from me with weekly Q&A lives, support and guidance and friendship from hundreds of women on the exact same journey as you, starting, running, and growing their preschools, and my exclusive access to Preschool University, every training and done-for-you file that you'll need for every milestone on your journey to help you start, run, and grow your preschool. We've all been there, and we've got the exact same steps that you need to go through, but we do it all very quickly so that you don't have to waste time or money doing the wrong things at the wrong time. We'd love for you to join our Preschool All Stars membership. Just go to preschoolallstars.com or click the link in the description to immediately jump into Preschool All Stars. Again, go to preschoolallstars.com and we'll see you there.